yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. You know all my struggles. You know what?
Potential. And you said we're here to win. And Rangers are in the World Series. Obviously, your decision making to be here obviously impacted that. Can you talk about just what have you seen for this team in just such a short time of being here?
I knew this team can win. Watching this team from afar, you could tell this was obviously they're winning ball games. The record showed it, and this team had a great offense. Getting over here and actually getting to see it firsthand, and getting to know the guys. I didn't realize. I knew Ardolis Garcia was good. He's great. he's amazing. He has so much potential. He can be even better. That's what's crazy. I think the world of him. What he can do. Who he is as a baseball player. Leody Taveras, so maybe a name you might not, the households might not know, but man, this is a heck of a center fielder who can go out, he can hit he can really do some things offensively. So, it's guys like that maybe, I didn't quite know how good they were, and getting over here and seeing how many different guys contribute, it's been really fun to join and see how good this team is.
So, you won a World Series, obviously. The similarities between the team that you won the World Series with and this team, are there any sort of similarities, maybe some coincidental things that have happened? But do you see any similarities between the two teams?
The only two things that I can say is one, we're wild card teams, and two, we won all the games on the road in a 7-game series. Done that twice.
I like that. One thing that I think we need to get this part straight. So, people always ask me, you interview Mad Max. He's an intense guy, but you're the life of the party. A lot of people don't realize this. How do you channel between both, man? Because I'll talk to you before the games. Obviously, when you're not pitching, you're anime. We joke around. Then when it's game time, the straight face comes out. Everybody gets nervous. So, how do you able to channel those two things?
It's pretty easy. When I'm not pitching, I'm as loose as can be. I'm having as much fun with anybody. Keeping everybody light, making sure there's inside jokes and ribbing everybody, and making sure they can rib me as well. So that's what makes baseball fun, is when you have a clubhouse that's all having fun together. But when it's game time, it's my turn to pitch. I'm locking it in. I'm giving you absolutely everything I got, and I'm going to lock it in physically, mentally, you name it, to go out there and compete as hard as I can. So, there's a moment in time once I put those headphones on, don't talk to me again. Until the manager shakes my hand, I'm on the other side. Don't talk to me, and just let me go out there and compete.
I love it. Last question for me, man. So, I know you're a baseball historian. Mm-hmm. You love baseball, but I got to ask you, just growing up, were there any moments as a kid that you saw a World Series, a certain performance or a moment that made you want to play baseball?
I grew up in St. Louis. So I'm a Cardinals fan. So Ozzie Smith was, my guy growing up, who I always wanted to emulate. I can remember throwing a ball against the stairs and trying to catch it, be like a shortstop like Ozzie. So, for me, I've always been a baseball fan. I've always gravitated towards baseball. Obviously, as you're growing up, you're watching a game. I'm growing up in the 90s and early 2000s. So, all the teams that are, the great teams there, I'm watching all that. And then, for me, when I got drafted in 06, the Cardinals won in 06, but I hadn't signed yet. So that was the last year of watching that. I remember Waino threw that curveball to Beltran and just being like, man, that looks cool. I want to be there someday.
Well, obviously, you've been there, done it, and now you're back here again. So, Max, congratulations. Yep. We'll be talking again soon.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.